Oh my goodness, man. From top to bottom, I loved everything on this show tonight. I love this show tonight. This show was freaking awesome. Tonight was the start of the AEW World Championship Tournament. We got all four of the first round matchups. And that tournament is off to a phenomenal start. And I love this tournament tonight going into next week. We had a steak dinner between Chris Jericho and MJF. One of the best segments of 2020. And it's going to be one that people remember for a very, very long time. And then we are on the road to Full Gear, and we concluded the show tonight with a fatal four-way number one contender match to see who would become the number one contenders to FTR's Tag Team Championship at Full Gear. This was an awesome show tonight. This is Joseph Conlon here on the Big Fight Field channel. We're going to break down everything that happened on AEW Dynamite tonight. But first, I need you guys to hit that subscribe button. Because if you don't hit that subscribe button, we gotta get the subs up. I'm gonna try. I might be stretching it here, but we're gonna try to get to 250 subs before Full Gear. That's actually gonna be the new goal. 250 subs before Full Gear November 7th. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn the bell on for all notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. This is the first video of the week. You guys are probably like, well, why hasn't Joseph uploaded a video this week? I didn't do a Raw review this week because unfortunately I was watching the Cowboys game on Monday night. And Tuesday, I just decided not to do Week 7 predictions. Got two pay-per-views this weekend. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus the weekend on wrestling. We got Bound for Glory Saturday night. And we got Hell in a Cell on Sunday. So, without further ado, man, enough of me rambling. Let's get on with the Dynamite show. We had Warlow versus Jungle Boy to open up this show. Very good matchup, I thought. For 8 minutes, this match got 8 minutes. I thought the match was very good. Good storytelling for both of their strengths. And I feel like the right guy won here. I don't think that, well, obviously later on in the night, Hangman Page defeated Colt Cabana. We'll get to that. But with the mesh of styles, I don't think Jungle Boy versus Hangman Page was going to work that well in a singles match. Warlow versus Hangman Page, I think is going to be very good. I think that match is going to be very good next week. It'll be hard-hitting, and we'll see how that goes. But Warlow, he looked very impressive tonight. Jungle Boy looked very good as well. Warlow got the win at the end when he was on the outside with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy was going for a Hurricane Rana, I believe, or a DDT, and Warlow reversed it, got Jungle Boy up on his shoulders, and he hit an F10 into the ring. He threw Jungle Boy into the ring with an F10, and then in the ring, he hit another F10 on Jungle Boy, which Jungle Boy sold the shit out of this F10. And Warlow, he picked up the victory over Jungle Boy, like I said, in 9 minutes. Very good match. I enjoyed it. And Warlow was the right guy to win this match, and he indeed won this match. So, very good start to Dynamite. We then got a promo by Jon Moxley. Backstage promo. Not in the ring. He was like, me and Eddie Kingston, we go long back. I've known Eddie. I've known what he's had to go through. but I'm not gonna apologize for my past situations. I'm not gonna not travel on the road and provide for my family, provide for my mom and my wife, Renee Young. My head is itchy tonight. I don't know what's going on. But he said that he doesn't regret anything that he's done or something like that. And he said at Full Gear, it will be Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And he's going to make Eddie Kingston, he's going to make him quit. And you're going to have to do some really bad things if you're going to make me quit at Full Gear. So this was a good promo from Moxley. The one by Eddie Kingston later on, I thought was much better. But this wasn't bad. Moxley versus Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match. This is a dream match for me. This really is a dream match for me. The day that Eddie Kingston got signed to an AEW contract, I thought my dream match with him is going to be against Moxley. Because I know these two guys, they're very hardcore. Moxley's a hardcore. Eddie Kingston's hardcore. I think this was my dream match going in. And I think an I Quit match, I think they're going to absolutely beat the shit out of each other. And, you know, a lot of people might not agree with me. But I actually think going into this one, I think Eddie Kingston's got it. I really think Eddie Kingston has this match, and he's going to be the next world champion. How he's going to make Jon Moxley say, I quit, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out and save it when we get to the Full Gear preview predictions. But I think that's going to be freaking awesome at Full Gear. But we'll get to Eddie Kingston in a little bit, so we're not done with the Moxley, Eddie Kingston stuff. We then got Kenny Omega versus Sonny Kiss in the AEW World Tag and the World Championship Tournament. It was originally supposed to be Joey Janela. Joey Janela got in contact with somebody from CZW with COVID, so they told him to go home and quarantine for two weeks. So hope everything's all right with Joey Janela. But I tweeted about this earlier on, and I'm like, oh my God. Sonny Kiss. Why is Sonny Kiss in this spot? There are much more deserving talent other than Sonny Kiss. You could have had Sean Spears, who cracked the top 5. Scorpio Sky. Ricky Starks. Heck, even Frankie Kazarian could have been in there. Or Trent. You could have done Trent versus Kenny Omega. Again, like the classic they had in April of 2020 this year. But now, I see why they did Sonny Kiss. They went with Sonny Kiss. And I know why they were going with Joey Janela in the first place. Because this was great. I love this. We're clearly getting the cleaner Kenny Omega. He's clearly going to be turning heel. And he's going to the dark side. He teased it tonight in his entrance. I thought his entrance was amazing. It was phenomenal. And Kenny Omega, the bell rang. And if you blinked, the match was over. He hits Sonny with a V-trigger, gets him up, one-winged angel, and Kenny Omega defeated Sonny Kiss in about 20 seconds. I thought that was great. No offense to Sonny Kiss. I'm not saying that because, I'm not going to get into it. But for Kenny Omega's sake, I thought that was amazing. And when he turns heel and he's officially the cleaner, he's going to be one of the best heels in the business. So get used to this Kenny Omega right here that we got tonight. This was great. I loved it. Then we got to Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston cut a promo. He said, before we get to Moxley, the family is back together. my best friend Pentagon and Rey Fenix are about to go out there and prove to you why they are two of the best wrestlers in the entire world and the reason why they are a part of my family. And you got the Butcher and the Blade, who's going to become #1 contenders for the tag team championships, and they got Allie back on Dark last night. Eddie Kingston surprised QT Marshall when he was going up against Penta El Cerro, and out came the Bunny, and that Bunny is in the family right now with Eddie Kingston. So he cut a promo, and then he got to Moxley. He said most of the things that you did say are true. But you got a whole thing coming to you if you think that I'm going to utter the word, I quit. I've never quit in my life at all, and I'm sure as hell not going to say I quit to you on November 7th. I'm taking your world championship and I'm bringing it to the family. Excellent. Excellent stuff from Eddie Kingston right here. We actually had more Eddie Kingston, which I love because I love Eddie Kingston. He is just amazing. We had Eddie Kingston out on commentary for this next match. And my goodness, man. I thought I was going to have a heart attack during this match. We had Penta El Cerro versus Rey Fenix in the first round of the AEW World Championship Tournament. Oh, my God. This match was freaking fantastic. This was fantastic. Now you'll have the marks who you either hate it or you love it. You'll have the marks saying, oh, these people are saying it's a great match. Meanwhile, they're doing all this flippy shit and they're not telling a story. They told a story in this match. This story was awesome between Penta and Rey Fenix. They told an amazing story with a comeback from Rey Fenix. So in the beginning, they're just doing the basics. Very smooth, Pentagon and Phoenix. And then they do a chop war. And Pentagon obviously won this chop war. Rey Fenix chops were good, but Penta, my God, I felt his chops, bro. I felt Penta's chops on my chest when he hit that on Rey Fenix. Then we got to the outside, and we go to commercial after Rey Fenix does a dive to the outside on Penta. During the commercial break, Rey Fenix is doing some handstand move to Penta, and Penta just super kicked him in the face. I was like, oh my God. My God. So this match, halfway in, was great. We get back in. They're both in the ring. Penta jumps off the second rope, hits a sling blade, and then Rey Fenix hits a jumping Hurricane Rana. And this was a scary part right here. He went to the top rope. Penta was set up on the top rope. Rey Fenix jumped on the top rope. He missed Penta. Penta still sold it like he actually hit him. And Rey Fenix, I think, landed on the back of his neck. That was I got scared after that. Even Penta made a cover, or he hit a sling blade, and Rey Fenix could barely sell it. And he kicked out at 2 in a very slow manner, but Rey Fenix was okay. He was okay. He continued the match, and they're still doing their shit. And my God, they're on the top rope. Spanish fly from Rey Fenix to Penta on the top rope to the mat. I thought that was it, but Penta kicked out. He kicked out at 2. And then Penta's telling Phoenix to hit him, and Phoenix doesn't want to hit him. And Penta goes for a pile driver. Phoenix reverses it. He jumps in midair. This is crazy. He reversed into a Canadian destroyer in midair, and it was absolutely insane. I can't even explain to you guys how it was. You have to go watch it for yourself. That's how Rey Fenix won the match. Rey Fenix defeated Penta in a unbelievable, fantastic match in the AEW World Championship Tournament. Now next week, we're getting Rey Fenix versus Kenny Omega. And I don't think Rey Fenix is going to be jobbing out to Kenny Omega like Sonny Kiss did tonight. I don't think that's going to happen. And the shit that Omega and Rey Fenix did at AAA last year for that World Championship was incredible. That match was honestly so underrated. So, we're getting Phoenix and Kenny Omega next week in the World Championship Tournament. Does Kenny Omega put on a better performance than Penta did tonight? I don't know, man. I don't know. But this, oh my God. Wow. This was fantastic. I'm probably going to go watch it again after this. It was so damn good. Rey Fenix wins. Then we get Hangman Page versus Colt Cabana in the final World Championship Tournament in the first match in the first round. I thought this was solid, very good. The energy and the excitement for me personally went down a little bit after we just saw that match between Rey and Pentagon. I was like, okay, I gotta breathe. This is kind of like a cool down match. I think this would have been the perfect spot to put the women in tonight with Britt Baker and Kylan King, because the women are in the same spot every single week on Dynamite, and that's kind of one of the things that I get tired of. They're in the same spot every single week where they're the last match before the main event, and you got to change it up a little bit. So I think putting this match after the Rey Fenix match would have been good, and you could have had Page and Colt Cabana go after or go before the main event, which would have made a little bit more sense for me. But I thought this was very good. Evil Uno was out there. Page, man, he took a nasty bump in this match. Page took a nasty bump. So he was on the top rope, getting ready to go for the moonsault. Cabana's on the outside. Cabana gets on the apron. He shoves Hangman off the top rope, and Hangman lands back first on the ring apron. And it happened again during the match, and it looked absolutely brutal. Cabana almost got the win with the Chicago Skyliner, but Hangman kicked out at 2, barely. Then at the end, I'm just going to get to the finish here. Hangman went for a buckshot. He faked it. Cabana got back up, turned around, buckshot, and Adam Page defeated Colt Cabana. Good match. Then the Dark Order, I forgot what I was going to say there. Then the Dark Order, they came out and they were consoling Colt Cabana. So what I'm thinking is the breakup is going to happen sooner rather than later with Colt Cabana and the Dark Order. And with Darby Allin being involved in the TNT Championship situation at Full Gear, obviously Brody Lee's not getting a shot. We're going to need something for Brody Lee to do at Full Gear. You can't just have him, sit this one out and not do anything. I think a match between him and Colt Cabana would be good, and it would make sense. There's no one else for Brody Lee to face at Full Gear. That would actually make sense. Colt Cabana makes sense. So, That's where I see that happening. Then we got Le Dinner Debonair. We got a steak dinner between Chris Jericho and MJF. Now, I'm sorry to Penta and Rey Fenix. Up until this point, that was the highlight of the night. But this took the cake. My goodness, man. My goodness. I might get a few people upset or angry with this statement, but I don't really care. This segment tonight between Chris Jericho and MJF has been better than anything that the main roster has been producing in the last month. Since after Clash of Champions, the pay-per-view. This segment was better than anything the main roster has been producing in the last month. And I'm not over-exaggerating while I'm saying that. I actually believe that. This was amazing. Only Chris Jericho and MJF could pull something off like this. I don't think anybody else on that AEW roster could pull off what Jericho and MJF did tonight. So I'll try to break this down the best I can. They're sitting there, and the waitress comes up. Her name was Velma. And poor Velma had to take about 5 orders from Jericho and 5 orders from MJF. I want a nice, red, juicy steak, and I want it well done. And then they were like, well, wait, Velma, I want a juicy red steak, and I want it well. And then they were like, I want it medium. And then at the end, Jericho said, I want a nice blue steak, and I want it rare. Or he said rare, I think. I don't think he said raw. I think he said, I want it rare. And then the waitress leaves, Velma leaves, and then they're talking to each other. Like, okay, what's the point of this? We haven't been talking for 20 minutes. What are we here for? And then MJF was like, Chris, I just want to have dinner with one of the greatest of all time. And possibly I'm going to be in the Inner Circle. And he said, well, next week the Inner Circle is going to be having a town hall meeting to see whether you are going to join the Inner Circle. And then they both stand up and they're singing to each other like a Broadway musical. And they're walking around the table and the chairs, and they're singing. And the curtain opens up, and all you see is like 5 women. Jericho takes a woman. MJF takes a woman. They start dancing with them and singing. And then they're like kick dancing, and they're singing along. Like, oh my God. This was so entertaining and funny. This was hilarious. You could guys see I'm about to laugh right now just talking about it, man. Oh my God. That was so entertaining. That was more entertaining than anything that the company that calls himself Sports Entertainers could ever do. If WWE did a segment like this, it would have been some table for 3 bullshit that they do on the WWE network or whatever, but my God, this was amazing, funny, and keyword, entertaining. This was so entertaining. I think, like I said before this, the only 2 people that could pull off a segment like this were Chris Jericho and MJF. I don't think anybody else on that roster could do what those 2 guys did tonight. And what they did was freaking entertaining, man. That is entertaining at its core. At its core, man. Unbelievable stuff. I'm very curious to see what this town hall meeting is next week. And I'm guessing that the Full Gear match between Jericho and MJF is going to be set up next week. And then we got Britt Baker in action against Kylan King. This went 5 minutes. This was fine for what it was. Britt Baker, she's getting a lot better than she is. And she's using a whole lot of new moves than we haven't seen her use before. So she's obviously been training with Adam Cole, baby. She's been training with him. She hit a swinging neck breaker, a curb stomp, and then got the glove into a lockjaw and submit Kylan King. This was fine. And plus, I would like to see more of Kylan King on AEW. She's not that bad. I watch her on Dark when I get a chance. She's actually pretty good. And if AEW were to bring her in and give her a contract, I'd be all for it. I would be all for Kylan King joining the women's division. Why not? Why not? Then we get a couple match announcements for next week. We're getting Warlow and Hangman Page in the second round of the tournament. Omega versus Rey Fenix in the second round of the tournament as well. We are getting Tay Conti versus Abaddon. A town hall meeting with the Inner Circle. And I believe there's one more match in there that I missed. I can't remember it right now, but my apologies. Then we get the Full Gear. We get an announcement that we're getting Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley in a Night Quit match, like I mentioned before. We are getting the Elite Deletion match between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. Now, I did not know why they were still feuding when they did a segment for them last week. But I think it's obvious. I think Matt Hardy was not satisfied at all with the match that happened at All Out with the scary incident. And it had to be cut down very short. And the match was like 10 minutes. 7 minutes. I don't think Matt Hardy nor Sammy Guevara was satisfied with that ending or with that match being the end of their feud. So I think Matt Hardy went to Tony Khan. He's like, well, look, I want a proper match and a proper ending of this feud with Sammy Guevara. And this time, I wanted an Elite Deletion match. And I'm full for it. I think that's going to be very good. And it should be fun. Just stay safe. Please. Stay safe. No big, gigantic bumps that's going to almost concuss Matt Hardy, please. Then we got to the main event. The main event of this show. The Butcher and the Blade versus Private Party versus Silver and Reynolds of Dark Order versus the Young Bucks. I thought this was a really good Fatal 4-Way match. Obviously, the Young Bucks won like we all knew that was going to happen. All teams looked very good in this match. Good pacing. They all got their spots in when they needed to. John Silver got a Cesaro moment tonight. You remember a couple years ago when Cesaro got a hot tag from Sheamus in a match on Raw against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and he just went balls to the wall. That was John Silver. John Silver was a one-man wrecking crew, taking literally everybody out that he saw. Alex Reynolds and him had a great double combination, and he got his Cesaro moment tonight. He is very over with the AEW audience as well, and I'm happy that he got this match in the main event of Dynamite. With the work he's been doing on BTE and his in-ring skills, he's very underrated, man. He's very underrated. So I'm happy that he got his big moment tonight. the ending was very cool. So, the Young Bucks were going for a Meltzer driver, and Isaiah Cassidy reversed it, and they went back in time where we had the Young Bucks versus Private Party last year. So Isaiah Cassidy rolled up Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson kicked out. He knew better. He put Isaiah Cassidy in that roll-up. Mark Quinn tried to break it up. Nick Jackson was holding him, and the Young Bucks got the victory, and we're getting the match 6 years in the making at Full Gear. The Young Bucks versus FTR for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It is going to be, I think, 100% one of the most anticipated tag team matches in a very, very long time. Maybe all time, if we're taking it that far. And it could be one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. Definitely could be the match of the year. I think AEW is making Full Gear must-see with Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks, FTR, and along with Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. And then I can't forget about the ending. We had to do with a hat and a mask on, attacking the Young Bucks. Obviously, this was Tully Blanchard trying to hide his identity. So he and the FTR attacked the Young Bucks, and they put a steel chair around Matt Jackson's left ankle, and they now hurt Matt Jackson's ankle, and he's not going into Full Gear 100%. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. And that's your AEW Dynamite review tonight, folks. That's going to wrap it up here. I love tonight's show. I thought tonight's show flew by very nicely. I enjoyed all the matches. The World Championship Tournament is off to a phenomenal start. And that dinner between Chris Jericho and MJF, a masterpiece. But I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for watching the review tonight. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to get NXT tomorrow. Hell in a Cell predictions on Friday. I don't know how that's going to go because we got 4 matches, so that might be very short. SmackDown review on Friday. Bound for Glory review on Saturday night. You guys are going to get an Impact pay-per-view review on Saturday night with Bound for Glory. And then a Hell in a Cell review on Sunday. So make sure you keep your eye on all those videos. Comment down below. I want to know your thoughts on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. Let me know down below. Let me know down below. That kind of rhymes. Like the video. If you like what I had to say, follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And now we'll see you guys for the NXT review tomorrow here on the Big Fight Field channel. Have a good night. Stay safe.